Well, maybe your ballot included one of several school levies around the region. The cost of education has skyrocketed across the board. To understand how schools in Ohio are funded, you'll need a lesson in three things: history, math, and gymnastics. Here's our consumer investigator, Danielle Serino.
First, the history. Traditionally, property taxes have been a significant source of funding for public schools. But in 1976, concerns over inflating property taxes led state lawmakers to pass House Bill 920. It said schools could only collect the dollar amount voters approved for the levy and not a penny more unless another levy was passed. And it makes sense unless you factor in inflation and the rising cost of things like utilities and maintenance. All the while, the school's income stays the same. 20 years later, the Ohio Supreme Court ruled school funding based on property taxes was unconstitutional and that lawmakers needed to fix it. But in the 2 decades since that ruling, nothing's been done. So that funding formula has been locked in the disco era for more than 40 years. Now to the math. Let's use fiscal year 2017 as an example. The State Board of Ed appropriated more than $12 billion. That includes nearly $8 billion from the General Revenue Fund and another $1 billion from the state lottery. Sounds like a lot of money, but it's still not enough, which leads us to the gymnastics. Voters often feel they're forced to tuck, twist, and tumble back into the voting booth every few years to increase funding when schools need more money. And they've had to do those contortions repeatedly because of that 1976 fix. That leaves many voters with the impression that public schools don't manage their money well, so they vote against the levies.
Now, what about the money from the lottery? Well, the lottery does give a percentage of its earnings to fund education. But the way Ohio law is written, the lottery can have a banner year and donate billions, but the legislature only budgets a certain amount for education. Anything over that, they can spend how they want. By the way, you can earn some extra credit if you figure a way out of this. Danielle Serino, Channel 3 News.
Informative and clever, Danielle. Thank you.